Greetings everyone, and welcome to Batocera Nation, the #1 fan site and channel for Batocerans. Today I want to provide some recent updates and news for everyone. I'm afraid, however, that some of it is bad news. During my last update, I mentioned that developer Daniel Martin was looking into the possibility of porting TeknoParrot into Batocera. This is something that a lot of us want. Unfortunately, after some extensive testing, Daniel got back with me and shared his efforts. The bad news is that in the short term, it's not going to happen. The first problem that Daniel ran into was that TeknoParrot GUI was overlapping the games, and he could not easily remove it with code. The second problem was that some of the games ran with one version of Wine, and other games ran with another version of Wine. For those of you who don't know, Wine is similar to an emulator program that allows you to run Windows software in Linux. Daniel indicated it's unrealistic to run multiple Wine versions through Batocera for such an extensive library as TeknoParrot. Now then, he did say short term, so maybe in the future it might become a possibility with some extensive coding. But for now, unfortunately, it's not going to happen. The second piece of news I want to share with you is about Epic Game Store. A lot of you have been asking me how to install it in Batocera using Flatpak. Unfortunately, there's some bad news too. However, this one looks more promising, and I will tell you why shortly. But first, let's head over to my Batocera system to show you what I've already tried. Alright, so in Batocera, let's go into Flatpak. And I've downloaded several different apps. For example, I downloaded this one. This one needs a browser to work simultaneously. You can't do that. I tried this one. This one doesn't even load up at all. And also try this one. Also needs a browser. It turns out among these, this one was my best bet, Bottles. Let me go ahead and show you. Alright, so here's the software, Bottles. I created two working environments. One called applications and one called testing games. Now let me show you applications. And from there you can see that I was able to install successfully EA Client, Steam, Epic Game Store, GOG Galaxy, Ubisoft Connect. Right? After I install those successfully, I try to run them. And I get this message right here, but nothing happens. Same thing with Steam. Same thing with Epic Game Store. And so forth and so on. So something is not working properly. Now there is some good news about this piece of software. I think this is going to be a best bet. And let me tell you why. So it appears that Bottles has been around since March of this year. That means that Bottles is rather new. But as you can see, Bottles is designed to run Windows software in Linux. Now then, since Bottles is almost working Batocera's version of Flatpak, I reached out to them and told them our problem. The good news is that the main developer of Bottles, Merkel Broman, has replied to me and is interested in looking into it. In fact, I've already provided him logs from Batocera so he can determine our problem. We are communicating, and hopefully he can find the error and provide an update to fix the software so that it can run successfully in Batocera. Assuming he finds the solution, I will provide a tutorial as soon as we get it up and running in Batocera. If we find a solution, it will be awesome for Batocerans because we will not only have the Epic Game Store available to us, but we will also have a number of other gaming stores at our disposal from one application. Not to mention, we will also be able to install Windows games that are not working within Batocera's main front end. In short, Bottles has the potential to open a vast collection of games for Batocerans. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Furthermore, as part of my updates, I also want to share an update for those of you who follow my Cave Games tutorial. In that tutorial, we use MAME to get the third generation of Cave games up and running. There are two games, however, that did not work in MAME. The good news is that with the installation of Demul, those two games are now up and running in Batocera. Therefore, if you have not checked out this tutorial, please follow it since it will teach you how to install Demul in Batocera. Once you have Demul installed, then head over to my website at batoceranation.com and go to the downloads page and go to the section where it says Cave CV1000 download. This is the new file that you have to download. Go ahead and download that, and I will show you where to copy that in Batocera. In fact, let's go ahead and go over to Batocera so I can show you where to copy that file. Alright, so we're about to set. Let's go ahead and press F1 on the keyboard for the file manager, and that will bring me up to my backup folder. What I tend to do, I tend to copy the files to the network and I place them in this folder. Alright, so let's go to Cave, and we got 3 files that should have been unzipped from the file that you downloaded from BatoCeraNation.com. These first 2 files, these are the gamepad controls for the games themselves, okay? And this right here is the system file. So let's go ahead and copy the system file first. Let's go ahead and cut, and let's go into share. It should say user data on top. Go into system, go into configs, go into emulation station, and just paste it there, okay? If you've done the Cave tutorial, you should already have the file there. Let's go ahead and overwrite it. So just go ahead and press overwrite, and you're good to go. Now let's go back to my folder right here, and let's go ahead and copy these 2 files. Select them. I'm going to cut, and let's go ahead and paste it to the games folder. Let's go to Cave 3RD and paste it there. All right, so there they are. Notice that the name of the file is very similar to the original game itself, right? If you want to, for example, play some of these other games using the Demul emulator instead of main, then go ahead and make sure you copy this file right here. So let's say, for example, I want to play this game here with Demul instead of main. Go ahead and copy the zip file right here, this key zip file, copy, and make sure you keep the same name right here. So paste it. In this case, we want to bring over here, and we want to put death SML. And there it is. Okay. Now I can play this game also with Demul if I want to, right? So again, any other game we want to play with Demul, just do the same format, all right? And now we're good to go. File, close Windows. Let's go into Caves, and this is one of the games that was not working in this one right here, all right? So let's go ahead and check them out. Hold on the A button or the B button on your gamepad, depending upon your configuration, and go down to Advanced Game Options. An emulator, before it was a main, you can go ahead and choose Demul. All right. I left this on auto. Aspect ratio, I left it on auto. VSync, you might want to turn it on. And that's it. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, when the game loads up, you'll see that. If you wanted to have it full screen, go ahead and press R3 on your gamepad. It's already configured for that. And that's it. And now we can check out the game. Alright, so that should give you a great overview of the game. Let's go ahead and try the next one right here. This is also one that did not work in main. Once again, hold down the A button or the B button, and let's go to Advanced Game Options. And once again, Demul is an emulator. And then VSync, you can turn that on. Alright, let's go ahead and check it out again. Once again, if you want it full screen, go ahead and press R3 on your gamepad, and that'll go to full screen. Now let me show you some gameplay. All right, you can see that it works quite well with Demul. In fact, you can play any of these games in Demul, and you have two ways of doing that. First option is go ahead and press the select button on your gamepad and going down to Advanced System Options. And from here, you can choose Demul. And that will automatically select Demul for all the games, all right? And of course, the other option is holding down the A button or the B button and going to Advanced Game Options. And selecting the emulator from there, main or Demul, all right? Now then, the final piece of news I want to share with you all is Batocera 35. I talked to Nicholas and he's mentioned to me that Batocera 35 should come out around mid-September. So I suspect, give or take, mid to late September, it should come out, Batocera 35. So stay tuned for Batocera 35. Well, that's a wrap. If you found this video useful, please go ahead and like it. That would really help me out with YouTube's algorithms. If this is your first time watching a video from Batocera Nation, then I highly encourage you to check out YouTube channel, as well as a website at BatoCeraNation.com. That will give you a great overview of what Batocera is all about and whether this will meet your emulating needs. Finally, I want you to know I've got a lot more videos coming up, so therefore please consider subscribing so you stay on top of the greatest and latest of Batocera. As a matter of fact, next time I plan to revisit Xenia, the Xbox 360 emulator. I'm aware that the recent Canary version has provided some dramatic performance increase. Because of that, I believe that the developers of Batocera will provide an official build of Xenia and Batocera 36. But to hold us out, I hope to provide an unofficial build of Xenia and Batocera. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time on Batocera Nation. Bye.